Hey everyone, welcome back. A couple weeks ago I made a super easy and delicious, if I do say so myself, pumpkin crisp. Today we're going to make another really fast dessert recipe. One of my favorite desserts is cheesecake, and since I've been vegan, it was a challenge for the first little while to find a cheesecake that I liked, that was store-bought. Daya has one, but it's okay, but it wasn't great. And so I started playing around, looking at recipes, that sort of thing. My favorite flavor of cheesecake is lemon, so that's what we're making today, is a lemon cheesecake. And it's going to be, like I say, super easy and super delicious. It does require you to first preheat your oven to 350. Actually, that is not the first thing you're going to do. The first thing you're going to do is soak 1.5 cups of raw cashews. This morning, before I went out to run errands, I don't know, it was about 7:30, 7:45, I put them in this container and I covered them with boiling water from my kettle. And I put the lid on and I just set them on the counter. And it is now 4:30. Yep, 4:30, so they've been soaking for a long time. I'm not going to try and calculate how many hours that is. My ring light is not behaving. Anyways, they're nice and soft. If you have forgotten or don't have time, that sort of thing, just boil them on your stove top for about 10 to 15 minutes until they're nice and soft. If you have a high-speed blender like the Vitamix that I'm going to use, then it'll do well even if they're not super, super soft. If you have a regular blender, then for sure you want to make sure that they're super soft. You know what? Just do it overnight. Do this, put the water over them, put them in the fridge and soak them overnight and they'll be fine. But you can't just boil them. So you need a cup and a half of raw cashews. And I'm just going to add everything into my blender. So 1.5 cups raw cashews. After they were soaked, I rinsed them, drained them. And then I'm going to put in 1 can of full-fat coconut milk. Now your coconut milk should be full fat because we're making a dessert here. It's not meant to be low fat. Anyways, pour it in there. The cooler your room is, the more liquidy this will be. If you make this in the summer, your coconut milk will be very liquidy. Okay, we've got our coconut milk in there, and now we're going to add in 3/4 cup of sugar. You can, if you like your cheesecakes a little less sweet, you can go with 1/2 cup. I find 3/4 cup is great for the lemon because the lemon is so sour, and so it's kind of the perfect sweetness. But you know what? Choose whatever sweetness works for you. Make sure this is actually 1/4 cup. Yes, it is. So I'm going to do 3. Again, we're making dessert. And now 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. This is what is going to thicken it. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Making a mess here. 1/4 teaspoon. That's this one. You need a little bit of salt to bring out the sweetness. All right, and now for the part that is the most work is the zest and the juice of 4 lemons. You need at least 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. Oh, and I forgot, we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla or lemon extract. I have lemon extract. I specifically buy it for this recipe, but if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Just use vanilla. This is just going to make it extra lemony, which, again, I love anything lemon. So for me, that's perfect. But it might be too much for some people. So 1 teaspoon. of vanilla or lemon extract. Now we get to the part that's the most work. All right, so get those out of the way, make a bunch of noise, roll up our sleeves. Now I have, excuse me, I have this zester. I am not very good at zesting anything, so this is going to take me a while. So I'm going to come back after I'm done, and after I'm done zesting, I will come back, and then we will move on to the next step, because this is painful for me and for you. All right, that was the least fun part of this recipe, especially not fun when you grate your zest your thumb. I'm glad I wasn't filming during that time, because you didn't have to hear the words I said when I did it. Anyhow, all right, so we've got a nice bit of lemon zest here. This is flavor. And now we're going to put this into the blender. Maybe there's an easier way to do that. I've tried using that tool multiple ways. I used to do it on my cheese grater, and you know, it's not as nice, but I think it actually works out better. So now we've got that in here, and the next and final step is to juice the lemon. Oh, I went and wet the cutting board. Silly gal. I've just cut the tips off so it fits in my lemon squeezer thing a little bit better. Sorry for what is going on? Well, I thought I was filming, but apparently I wasn't. So I blended it really well. I tasted the mixture and it was delicious. Yes. And then I poured it into the pie crust. And what I've done is I've filled up the pie crust, and then I've put the rest in this little Pyrex baking dish, this vintage one that I have, because this recipe makes more than that pie crust can hold. If you're making your own pie crust, you're going to have likely a springform pan that's maybe a little bit bigger, and then you can do something taller. But this is what I've got. So let me get it in the oven, and then I'm going to talk to you about the pie crust, because I don't think I've talked to you, like fully explained why I use this one. Get in there. I think after doing this filming, making videos for what, 6 years almost, I would remember to press record, but apparently I don't. So here's the thing. I don't make my own pie crust, my own graham cracker pie crust, because graham crackers are traditionally made with honey. And I'm vegan and I don't eat honey. If you do, then you can make your own crust. You can buy graham crackers that are vegan, made without honey, but they're hard to find. And when you do find them, they're super expensive. So I just buy those pre-made ones from the dollar store, and they are accidentally vegan. So, what's going on over here? Sorry, squirrel, I just heard something in there. No, it's all good. Anyways, so that's why I use those. But this is a recipe that's really super easy to make. If you want to make your own crust, like I say, there's lots of recipes online. The recipe will be on the back of the graham cracker package, almost guaranteed. But anyways, so we're going to bake that for 40 minutes. 40 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven. What we want is the outside of the cheesecake to be set. The middle might still look a little jiggly, but as long as the outside, a good portion of the outside is nice and set, then it will continue to solidify when it cools off. And I'm going to pull it out and let it fully cool off. And then we can taste it. Perfect. Let me see. So good. All right, so I'm going to let this cool and try and control myself so I don't cut into that before it cools. It needs to cool. So it may be a couple hours from now before I see you back here. I am dying to get into it, but I am also learning patience. Okay, so let's give this a try. It's not 100% cold, but I'm hungry. I've had my dinner. Time for dessert. So it will set up even more once it's in the fridge overnight, but it has got nice, it's nice and firm. That is so good. The cashews make it so creamy, and it is deliciously lemony, but not overpoweringly so. You cannot taste any coconut, at least I can't, from the coconut milk at all. It just gives it that nice creamy consistency. So this is super easy, super fast, and delicious. And it's a great dessert for Christmas dinner. Now you could top it with preserves or whipped topping, whatever you want. I kind of like it just plain, but you certainly could put toppings on it. You could use this as a base for, if you didn't want it lemony, just maybe don't put the zest of the lemons in there. You're still going to need a little acidity, so I would put the lemon juice, maybe use vanilla extract instead of the lemon extract, and then it won't be quite so lemony. And then you could have more of a plain cheesecake. The full recipe will be in the notes below the video. Just click the read more button when you are watching the video on your phone or on a computer. That's where you'll find the recipe, but it's super easy. So let me know if you give this a try. Let me know what kind of cheesecake you like, if you like cheesecake at all. It's a great option for those of us who don't eat dairy. Something like this, it just hits the spot, sort of satisfies that craving. Anyways, guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, eat good food, be kind, including to yourself. I love you, and I'll see you next time.